So this show begins with "Here Comes the Money." Shane McMahon does his, his shuffle, comes out, and then Yes Man comes out, Daniel Bryan. They both hit the ring, and they both have their choices on who should face Bray Wyatt in the main event at WrestleMania. Well, the Smackdown main event, I should say. And Shane McMahon picks AJ Styles because he won the Battle Royal, he beat Luke Harper, and Daniel Bryan picks Randy Orton because Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble. But Shane McMahon is like, wait, he gave up the chance. And Bryan's like, okay, Orton changed his mind. What do we do? Come on now. What do we do? Especially since it was all over social media that AJ Styles was going to go against Randy Orton. So it's like, duh. So whoever wins this match is going to go against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Why couldn't it be a fucking three-way dance? That would be way better instead of AJ Styles, being degraded on this card. But anyway, it's just, and Styles met with Shane and Daniel Bryan in the back saying that he will take Orton out. Alright. You have James Ellsworth and Carmella against John Cena and Nikki Bella. James Ellsworth gets the microphone and says that he's beaten AJ Styles 3 times, and how many times did it take Cena to beat AJ Styles? As comedy as that sounds, that is in the record books, but it's still not a feasible fucking argument. He introduces Carmella. Next thing you know, John Cena comes out first, and then Nikki Bella comes out last. They're about to get in this ring, and they're going to start this mixed tag, and then, well, what do you know? Jiz and Jizette comes out. And they go to the commentary's booth, and they talk their shit. So, Cena and Nikki ends up winning the match by doing their fuck you signatures and putting on their submission holds. But what happens next is what really, really fucking bothered me. Because it doesn't make any sense at all. Alright, you have The Miz and, Jiz and Jizette, they pull out Cena and Nikki. Miz runs Cena into the steel steps, and Maurice runs Nikki into the fucking ring post outside the ring. And they get in the ring, and Miz just does what he does best, talks. The problem that I have with this is that Cena was out for too fucking long just by steel steps. Nikki hitting that post, I can understand. But you're telling me, after all that Cena has been through, even last week and the week before, that running him into the steel steps will allow someone to talk in a ring for close to 3 to 5 minutes? That makes no sense to me. And then what The Miz started talking about was, okay, look, he started talking about love. He talked about, the relationship between Nikki and John Cena is not love, it's fake, and so on and so forth. A real man wouldn't make his woman sign a contract if he really loved her. And they basically just announced their relationship on TV not that long ago. And I'm like, wait a second here. When you and Maurice was together, you didn't announce your relationship until she came back and helped you win matches. And plus, we already fucking knew that Nikki Bella and John Cena were together. So that line just didn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, it's just... Oh, and Maurice gets the microphone and says, break that, bitch. Yeah. Maurice against Nikki is way more interesting, because at least that can be a fucking match, and at least they can both do things equally, even though Maurice does have some skill. She's the most skilled wrestler in their marriage. Kurt Hawkins calls out Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose goes in there, lays him out. Kurt Hawkins, you're a joke. And then he proceeds to call out Baron Corbin. As Dean Ambrose, you know, he says that basically Corbin just has no balls. Corbin's like, look, I'm not going to come out there when you want me to. I'm going to do things my way. And when we cross, I will take away everything from you, including your title. So we know that they're going to cross at WrestleMania. Duh. So, Ambrose goes looking for Corbin. On the way there, you know, he gives a dirty deeds to Hawkins right in the fucking aisle. Oh, Kurt Hawkins, you're a joke. Mojo Rawley announces that he's going to enter the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And basically, he wants his WrestleMania moment. He talks about Zack Ryder having his WrestleMania moment, and he wants his own. And Ziggler shows up. Ziggler, you know, he says that, okay, why does everyone feel that they're entitled to WrestleMania for a WrestleMania moment? You got to earn one. And Mojo was like, coming from someone that's never had a WrestleMania moment, which is true. Even when they could have had Dolph Ziggler cash in at WrestleMania, they didn't allow that to go through. So, you get Dean Ambrose looking for Baron Corbin in the back. Corbin attacks Ambrose. Basically, he shoves someone into Ambrose, like one of the backstage workers or whatever. And basically, he takes down Ambrose with a fucking pipe or whatever. And he crushes Dean Ambrose with a fucking forklift. You mean to tell me that Dean Ambrose laid down for that amount of time in order a forklift to crush down on him? That kind of reminds me of what Mankind did with The Rock. You know, forklift coming down, and they even had a camera on The Rock, and Rock was begging no to the... Look, how am I supposed to take that seriously? Dean Ambrose laying down for a whole bunch of time, and what do you know? After that goes, miraculously referees and people show up and try to get this thing off Dean Ambrose. It was a lame attack, to say the least. It was very lame because of the way the forklift played a part. That was just lame as fuck. So, you have Blisseration. So, Alexa Bliss gets in there and talks about her WrestleMania opponent. But she says that, okay, I know who it's not going to be. It's not going to be Naomi. It's not going to be Nikki Bella. Nikki's tied up. It's not going to be Carmella. It's not going to be Becky, which leads up to Becky coming out. Becky challenges Alexa for WrestleMania. Natty comes out and says that, wait, we had our talk last week, and, you know, we were going to be WrestleMania. And Alexa's like, oh, what are you talking about? There was no agreement. There was no, yeah. And she basically, Alexa calls Natty, the worst there is, the worst there was, the worst there ever will be. Mickey James is in the ring with Alexa Bliss while all this shit is going on. And she basically is like, yeah, she's going to defend against me. I'm going to get the title shot at WrestleMania. Sounds like a good idea. At least that will be an okay match. So Daniel Bryan comes out and he says something very interesting. Daniel Bryan basically is like, okay, you're going to defend your title against every woman. Every woman that's available on the roster at WrestleMania. What's interesting about that is, does that include anyone from Raw? Check this out. Nia Jax is nowhere on this WrestleMania card. Will Nia Jax get traded to Smackdown and win this championship? Just a thought. But an impromptu tag team match, you know, okay. Natty and Becky versus Mickey and Alexa. So you got 3 heels in this ring. And, of course, Becky is tagging with Natty. What? This is what I mean. There are not enough faces as far as women on the SmackDown roster. They're just not. So, well, what do you know? A breakdown. Natty goes in the ring during the match and actually fucking throws Becky Lynch and walks out. Yeah, she does a back suplex to Becky and walks out. Mickie James was about to, get the pin, but Alexa tags herself in and basically gets the pin. And after the match, Mickie does a Mick kick to Alexa and lays her out and picks up the belt. So that alliance is pretty much over. Oh well. So you get the number one contenders match, or the match that is going to decide who's going to face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. You have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. This was a good fucking match. It was a good fucking main event match on this card. It was. Especially when it came down to the closing moments. I like what they did in this sequence. AJ Styles was going to go for the fucking forearm, but when he jumped up, Randy Orton tried to RKO, but AJ Styles didn't go anywhere. So Orton ends up falling down. He gets up. He leaps this time. Orton gets out of the way. AJ Styles lands and he rolls. Charges towards Orton. Orton launches him up for an RKO and actually fucking wins the match. This was a good fucking match for all it was worth. It was for the number one contendership and everything was cool. Everything was fair. The only thing that was wrong about the Smackdown, for one, you didn't see the WWE champion. You didn't see the tag team champions anywhere. It's like, I forgot that there was a fucking tag division. The tag team champions are nowhere to be fucking seen. I can understand the WWE champion's presence, Yeah, he didn't quite need to be there, but he should have been there. At least on a Titantron, after all of that was said and done, as far as Randy winning and Randy challenging and so on, or even an attack, something. Luke Harper. It's just, yeah. Again, I just hope that this road to WrestleMania gets better, and I hope that WrestleMania actually, look, I'm not liking the way this WrestleMania is being shaped up to be, because we already know certain matches so far. We got the Universal Championship between Brock and Goldberg. Then there may be a triple threat tag team match for the tag team championships on Raw. There's already a triple threat women's championship match for Raw. There's already Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the United States Championship. That's one of the best matches. You already have Neville versus Austin Aries, most likely. That could be a great match. Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin could be a flat-out brawl of a match, and that can actually be good. You have Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Then you have... Okay, wait, I'm not even going to mention, the match. I made a video about it. Yeah, go watch it. And then you have Jizz and Jizzette versus Cena and C-Net. Ish. Anyway, what did you think about the show? What do you think about this lead up so far? Please leave a comment below. I'm always open to a debate about wrestling. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. I don't know. Drop kicks, body slams, throw motherfuckers over top rope, both feet hitting the floor. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan. This is the theme, and I'll see you later. Credits.